Hi, welcome back to Reading with Manny. I'm Manny and today I'm playing round 2 of my friends inspired TBR game. So, if you're new here, you're not missing much because, like I said, this is only the second time I'm gonna play the game. I created it last month, so if you want to know how the game works and all the prompts that are involved, I'll link the first video up in the cards and in the description. But the game is pretty simple. Basically, there's a board. I have genre spaces for my favorite genres that I read, and then there are lightning round cards, and I just pick a card. And they have friends references that I have related to a prompt, basically. Since I'm a mood reader, all of these prompts, as you will see, are quite general, and they allow me quite a lot of freedom. So, yeah. Now, brief recap of last month, maybe. I rolled 6 times. That's usually what I read in the month. I haven't finished my TBR yet, but I don't take any punishments for the game if I don't complete the TBR, because yeah, I don't really see the point in doing that. So I had to read 6 books, and then I also decided to randomly read a 7th one. I have read that one, and then 4 others. So I'm still 2 books away from completing the TBR. And I do want to finish those books because I was participating in a historical fiction readathon hosted by Katie from Books and Things. Her information will be linked down below. I'll briefly go over the books I had to read, just not in any particular order, but yes. So I had to read a book under 400. I moved the camera, didn't I? I had to read a book under 400 pages. For that, I read Imperium by Robert Harris. I'll put the picture up here. I loved it. I finished it. I also had to read a fantasy book, and for me that also includes magical realism. And so for that, I chose The Gifts by Liz Hyder. I also loved that book. It's also historical. All of these are historical fiction, but with a twist, some of them. Then I read my bonus book, let's say. It's A Land So Wild by Eliza Warkendine, still not sure how to say that name, which is historical fiction, and yeah, that was pretty good as well. Then I read Kindred by Octavia E. Butler for free pick. That's what I landed on. Absolutely love that book, very intense. But yes, I finished that. The last book I finished is The Mercies by Kira Millward Hargrave, which I had to read for like straight up historical fiction. That one I'm still thinking about. So I have 2 more books to read, as I was saying. I have my friend pick, and that is Asesinato en el Hotel de Baños, which is a historical fiction set and written by a Uruguayan author, which I'm getting my hands on Monday. So, and it's very short, so it'll definitely get read. And then the last one was another fantasy book, and for that I chose The Witches of New York, which is historical fiction and fantasy, because yeah, there are witches. And I'm like a quarter of the way through right now, so I probably won't finish it in May, but I will finish it like the first days of June, because yeah, it's a very long book. It's 500 pages. So that's my recap. I will be doing like a proper wrap-up, but if you want to hear more of my thoughts on the books I have finished so far, I do have a vlog that I did for the first 3 books I mentioned, and then I did a try a chapter thing for the other 3. So yeah, you can go check those out. Anyway, before we get into the rolls for today, I have added a couple of cards for the game. I did ask in my previous video if you had any suggestions for prompts that I could relate to friends' references, and someone commented that I should add one that was a book you know nothing about, and that would be related to like Chandler's Job, because nobody knows what Chandler's Job is. So I did it. He's a transponster. And then the other one was one that I thought about when I was filming the previous video, but I didn't have time to include it, and that's the routine, you know, Monica and Ross's routine, the dance routine that they do on New Year's Eve and things like that. And that is a reread, because it would be a nostalgic thing. So yeah, again, if you have any suggestions for more prompts, leave them down below. And the other thing I have to tell you before we get to the rolls is that I am participating in a very low-key way in the whateverthon readathon, which is like whatever you like readathon, which sounds great for me, right now in June. It's hosted by Maddie from Book Browsing Blog. I love the alliteration, but that's very difficult to say. So yeah, she has created this readathon, which is very chill, as I said. You pledge a number of books for a team. There are 4 teams, and you get points based on if you're fulfilling your goal, but then there are also some extra points that you can get for LGBTQIA plus rep or any other kind of rep. And then there's bingo boards for each team, and you can use the same book for up to 3 prompts. So that means that, yeah, you can get a bingo with a few books. So yeah, I will let you know what prompts the books I have chosen fit as we go along, but I did pledge 6 books, which is, again, the number of books I usually read in a month, for the Sunset Scholars team, which I thought had the best prompt. So after that very long introduction, let's get to roll number 1. All right, cards are shuffled. I'm gonna place my token back where it was last time. I have a red die today, and let's go. This is roll number 1. That's 2. 1, 2. Let's see. Lightning round. The routine, that's the new one. That's a reread. This is incredibly useful, so yay. I'm gonna put it over here. So, roll number 1, as you saw, new card, love it. So I thought that that was very fitting because this month, Katie, again, love her, again, information down below, is hosting a read-along of the second book in the Watchmaker Filigree Street by Natasha Pulley series, and that is The Lost Future of Pepperharrow by Natasha Pulley. Look at this book, it's so bright. Yeah, this is quite a bit longer than the Watchmaker. It's almost 500 pages, but it is a reread. I have read it before and I love it, so it will be a quick read for me. I can't really tell you much about this book because, as I said, it's a second in a series, but basically this is historical fiction with like magical realism set in the 19th century in London, and then this one is mostly set in Japan. In the first book, we follow Thaniel, who is a civil servant, and he one day receives a watch, a very mysterious watch that he can't open, and then that watch saves him from a bomb, basically. That's all I want to say, but it features a gay romance, so that will count for the LGBTQIA plus rep thing. It's also Pride Month, so yeah, that's pretty cool. And then for the prompts of the bingo, which I'll put up here, it fits a lot of them. Then I will have to choose which 3 I go for, but it has the and, oh my god, the and off, so that counts for that one. It's also my favorite genre because it's historical fiction and magical realism. It has a shiny cover, like, sort of, it's pretty gold. It has S's on the cover, multiple ones, from Natasha and Lost, and, well, here it says Street. And crucially, it will fit for the last letter, first letter one, but I'll get to that later, when I get to what book I should read before this one. Anyway, let's move on to roll number 2. Roll number 2. Another 2, okay. 1, 2. Okay, this is science fiction. Awesome. Great. Thank you, Cyborg Jane Eyre. So for roll number 2, I landed on science fiction, and I love science fiction, and I had my pick of things. I could have also reread something because I am currently working on rereading some of my favorite science fiction books from when I was a teenager, but I was so intrigued by Octavia E. Butler's writing style, and I've been hearing so many people talk about the Lilith's Brood or Xenogenesis series. I never know why it has 2 titles, but anyway. So I'm going to read Dawn by Octavia E. Butler, which is the first in this series. All I know about it is that it's science fiction and it involves aliens. That's pretty much all I know. That's all I need to know. That's it. I love science fiction, so yeah. Now that one fits for the 1-word title. Prompt, favorite genre, science fiction. and recently hauled because it's a book I've gotten pretty recently. So yeah. Roll number 3. Next, roll number 3. 1. That's another card. If you know me, you know that I have very bad luck with like dice in general. I always like roll bad numbers or low numbers when I need to get high numbers. I mean, it doesn't matter in this game, but this is very typical of me. Anyway, next card. I wish I could, but I don't want to. That's a mood read. That is great. I am a mood reader, so that'll be awesome. Now for that, I landed on another lightning round card, and I got I wish I could, but I don't want to, which is a mood read, which is perfect for me because I am a mood reader. Now, I had a couple of choices for this. I mean, I could just pick it during the month, but I did want to give myself some options, just, you know, and to talk about them now. Most probably I'm going to go with Lustrum by Robert Harris, which is the second book in the Cicero series that I read the first one this month in May. It's about Cicero's life. It's like a fictionalized biography written by Tito, his slave, who lived with him and was like his secretary and companion for like his career. The first one was fascinating, so I really do want to read the second one. I think it will involve a lot of political intrigue, and that's fascinating. So yeah, that's what I could go with. That would fit one-word title, Lustrum, continue a series, because it's the second one, recently hauled, and favorite genre. That could be one option. Now, in June, there's another Natasha Pulley book coming out. It's called The Half-Life of Valery K. It's also historical fiction. It's set in the 1960s USSR. So that should be interesting because it's very different from what she usually writes. My cats are playing, if you can hear that. So that comes June 23rd. My copy probably won't arrive until mid-July, but I might be able to get a digital copy before then, and if I do, I'm dropping everything to read that. So that will count as my mood read if I do end up getting a copy of that. Now, The Half-Life of Valery K will probably be a recent haul, favorite genre. I don't know if it fits anything else, but in any case, it will be read if I do get my hands on it. Let's move on to roll number 4. Next, let's see if I get another 2 and I can get a new book this month. I probably shouldn't anyway, but yeah. Oh no. You can't even see it, can you? That's a 4. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Great. That's, do you guys know how to get a chick out of VCR? So that's non-fiction. So roll number 4 landed me on the non-fiction square, which is one of my favorites. Like, it was very fun to draw. So non-fiction is not something that I read very often. So for that, I'm going with How to Be Perfect by Michael Schur. He is the creator of The Good Place, which is one of my all-time favorite TV shows. All I know is that it deals with like philosophy. Like the subtitle of that book is, as you can see, but I need to open my Kindle to see it. Like, just look at the cover and tell me it's not fantastic. But it says the correct answer to every moral question. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to reading this. So it will count for the less read genre because I don't normally read a lot of non-fiction. It's also recently hauled, and this is the one I will read for the last letter, first letter, because as you can see it ends on a T for perfect, and The Lost Future of Pepperharrow starts with a T, so I need to remember to read them in that order. But yes, let's go to roll number 5. Great. Roll number 5. 3. 1, 2, 3. Another card. Let's see what we get in this one. And my sister. Family member picks. That's great. I'm gonna actually ask my sister. I know what she's gonna pick. Now for that, I landed on another lightning round card and I got and my sister. And that is a family member picks. I asked my sister to choose one. I'll put up the text messages here so you can see what she chose. I thought I knew what she would choose first, but she went with Bridgerton, which no, I'm not gonna read that. I'm not in the mood to read that right I'm not really interested in it, so yeah. But I thought her second choice then would be It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover, which is great for me because I know that she really enjoyed it and she has been asking me to read it for a while so that we can discuss it, so that's great. I don't really know what it is about. I know it's like contemporary romance, but it's not like it's not a romance, like I think it's just contemporary fiction which involves a romance, but I'm pretty sure that there's like some sort of depictions of abusive relationships or toxic relationships. I'm not really sure, but I am quite intrigued by it. It fits quite a lot of prompts. It's a less read genre because I'm not really reading a lot of contemporary romance or contemporary in general lately. It also fits for the S's on the cover because it has Ends With Us. And it's a host fave. Steph Loves put it as one of her faves, so that is great for me. And then we move on to roll number 6. Cat wants to say hello. Go away, kitty. All right, and the last one. Can you actually see with my cat's tail there? Okay, the last roll. 2 again. 1, 2. That's another card. And that's a random color generator. Huh, this should be interesting. All right. And that's it then. And that, as you just saw, was another lightning round card. I got the random color generator. Now for that, I am gonna go and do that now and try to find a book with that color on the cover. This was a perfect card to pick because there is a prompt on the bingo board, which is random color generator, so should be great. So let's see what color I get. I have my laptop over here. All right, let's see what we get. The first one over there is tarpaulin gray. That's gross color. And let's see what we get. Olive gray. That's not better. All right, let me see what I can find with that color, I guess. All right, it actually worked out quite nicely. I don't know how I managed to find this book, but I have Agnes gray. And I think that that book color or at the background is pretty close to what that weird olive gray color is, so I'm going with this. Now, Agnes Grey is by Anne Bronte. Anne Bronte is the only Bronte sister I haven't read from, so quite excited for that. I've owned this book since October 2010, which is quite embarrassing that I haven't read this. But yeah. Oh, this one has the little sticker my grandpa made for me. He would do this with his books as well, with his initials. These are my initials. I haven't done this to my books in a while. I have to find these stickers and go over my books and do it, because yeah, it's a good way of like identifying your books. Anyway, I don't exactly know what this is about. I think, if I remember correctly, is about a governess, Agnes Grey, but I'm not entirely sure. All I know is that it's a classic. I haven't read a classic in a while, so I am excited for it, and it's pretty short. It's like less than 150 pages, or around 150 pages, so yeah, should be good. Because June is going to be a pretty busy month. Not as busy as May, I hope. But yes, so this one fits, as I said, the under 300 pages prompt, the color on the cover, and it also has S's on the cover, because Wordsworth Classics and Agnes has S's on those words. What am I saying? Anyway, so that's pretty much it. I think those are the books I'll be reading. Hopefully, those are the books I'm pledging for the readathon and that fit my game. Here's my Kindle to represent all the books that I own digitally. Pretty excited. I don't think I'll be able to read more than this, but if I do, that's awesome, but it will probably be mood reads. I think that's it. I've been talking for a very long time now, so I'm gonna go. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to see how I do in the month. I'll probably be doing some reading vlogs for this. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye, happy reading.